Hey fam, it's Scott Lewis, CEO of BlackBizFLA.com and co-founder of Hope, where we're helping our people excel. And this is part 2 of the Jarek rant. Now, I got a little bit of kickback for talking about the differences between Cosby and Jared. How Jared is this big, Cosby is this big name and everything, and you can't compare someone with the fame of Cosby to someone who's next to nothing, a CDZ rate celebrity like Jared. So I said, okay, fine, we could do anybody. I was thinking about the school teachers from Atlanta. And as I started thinking about that, I'm surfing Facebook, and I saw a brother that I follow by the name of Roosevelt Mitchell III, who hit it right on the dot, and just kind of like, dang it, I'm like an hour too late. But if you don't follow him, I'm going to pretty much, I agree with what he's saying, so I'm going to say it in my own words. All right, if you don't know the story, either earlier this year or late last year, was it, I think, about up close to 20, I'm sorry, somewhere between, I can't remember how many exactly, I'm going to take that back, school teachers from Atlanta, some of which who had masters and PhDs and doctorate degrees in teaching, ended up going to prison for 20 years for changing grade scores. Yeah. We're talking about the statewide test that determines the grade for your school and what kind of funding you get based off that grade score. Now, mind you, every year before, for the last 10 years, at least one school has done this, and nothing's happened to them. And out of those schools, I think 9 of them were mostly white, and mostly white areas, or mostly white schools. This happened to be in Atlanta, where, it's like the Black Mecca. And basically some were pushed, some were convinced, some were swayed to change the letter grades or the score, the point, numbers grades on some of these tests. Because what you have to see is you're talking about schools, public schools don't get the funding that these private schools are getting now. There's private schools popping up all over the place. And majority of them, you'll have a lot of these schools where it's a lot of white people sending their kids to these schools. So now these public schools, these private schools, get vouchers from the government. Okay, so they not only do they get paid from these teachers, they also get vouchers from the government to continue growing. Where these public schools are pretty much left on their own. If they're not an A+ school or A school, they won't get the top tier of the money that is allotted in their sector, in their area. So you can look at this, and this is happening all across America. You'll see in a lot of inner city schools who need the money so that they can, continue to grow their programs. Like they need better schools, better schools altogether, better books, better computers. They need up-to-date stuff to help teach these kids. And they also need to better the pay for the teachers. So you're talking about a teacher who probably is on their last leg. They know that their school is close to being shut down, or they could possibly lose their job, which happens a lot. When the grade of the school goes down, teachers get cut. They're the first ones to go. And that's a very difficult thing to try to decide whether I should sit here and let these kids dictate my job. Now, there are some horrible teachers out there, and I get it, and I understand that there's some teachers, that's their responsibility to teach, but there are some really good ones out there, and sometimes it's the responsibility of the parent to make sure that these kids are understanding at home. Because not only do they have to teach you, they have to babysit your doggone kids and deal with the attitude that you don't have to see, 8 hours out of the day or whatever, however long, you're going to school for. So what the U.S. government did, what the prosecutors did, was charge them with racketeering, because they said that This was a way that every year, if they did it the right way, they could consistently get a large amount of money to the school every year. Thus, could be applied. This process could be applied to the racketeering rule, which is something that the U.S. justice system only used for the mafia. So you're going to get these, 30, 40, 50-year-old teachers. I think it was like 12 of them. I could be wrong again, but, that, some, one or two of them admitted up front, yeah, I did it. The other one said, no, man, that's not cool. How you going to send us to jail for 20 years for changing a grade on a scale? Come on, you got to be kidding me. 20 years. Black, okay? Now, I made this comparison earlier with Cosby, that he's black. All right, these teachers are no profile. They have no celebrity status whatsoever, but all of these teachers went to jail, went to prison. Some up to 20 years of their life after teaching for, 30 years. Some of those teachers were 50 years old. So they're going to come out of prison at 70 because of a letter grade that was changed because a white prosecutor wanted to say, hey, this racketeering. Well, that's complete bullshit. Whereas on the other end, here we are now, Jared raped, okay? Raped 14 underage kids, the little babies, man. 14 underage kids, okay? Let that sink for a while. We're talking about Jared, who is a celebrity in this case now compared to these teachers. He got one underage one, from my understanding, one of them was 17, and he got that one to go get some younger ones. Not only did he have that, he has charges with child pornography as well. So you're talking about rape. We're talking about little baby, 14 of them, babies, having sex with the man who lost a fuck ton of weight by eating Subway and walking back and forth, whatever. You can't argue with me on this one. This is a broken justice system. It's not right, because not only did he went in and did what he did, plus child pornography, he admitted to it. And then he not only admitted to it, he asked for 5 years. He said, 20 don't sound good to me, I'm not saying he said that, but, how about 5? Because I got something to do. I know what I did was wrong. All right, slap me for 5. Can you put me in protective custody, too, while we're in there? Whatever. I can only assume the rest is what he said, but 5 years. And the judge said, sure, why not, Jerry? I'm going to go eat fresh now. Where is the justice in this? Black teachers who have taught your children, who have been the educators, because they were afraid of losing their jobs and having the school shut down, changed the letter grade. But this guy went around losing weight and fucking your babies. There's no justice in that. As always, leave a comment in down below. If you like the video, let me know. If not, that's cool too. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting a lot more videos now, especially with everything going on. Let me know how you feel. I feel like this. I say it all the time. I could be the teacher and the student. You know what I'm saying? If I'm wrong, don't be a douche. Teach me something so that I will be the student, and then I can learn and turn around and be the teacher and teach someone else. Teacher becomes the student. Student becomes the teacher. Anyway, I love you guys. See you next time.